Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and I'm quite excited today. I was doing a podcast yesterday with Simon for Andrew Barry. Our own podcast, by the way, will be out tomorrow, I believe, the next episode. But we were doing one that's coming out in a couple of weeks, I think, on how people think about things. And Andrew asked me he asked both of us the very interesting question of the puzzle we were proudest to complete on the channel. And I wasn't sure, but then Simon mentioned the Japanese sums puzzle I did, which had all the 17s in it. I'm not sure who the author was, but that was an absolute cracker. I mean, a love-hate relationship with that. Now, let's hope that's not going to happen again. But we are featuring a form of Japanese sums puzzle by Panthera today. Now, Simon did a Panthera puzzle a month ago, which ended up having a picture of an alarm clock, which was absolutely brilliant, i.e. even I could recognize what it was. It was astonishing. And I think we are promised something else similar today. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. As I say, that podcast episode we should be putting up tomorrow, and it may even hit podcast platforms before that with luck. So that should be out soon. It's mostly about how we get puzzles for the channel. So quite interesting to constructors and maybe even to solvers as well. Obviously, there are our apps as well. They are all available on the links under the video, but there's no Japanese sums app yet, although I am a big fan of this format. So who knows, one day, maybe. But also you can get to our Patreon site. And remember, in a week's time, we've got Jovial's genuinely approachable series of puzzles coming up. I think that is going to be well worth your time as well. So loads going on, as ever, on the channel. Now, what is going on here? And I think this is a very unusual puzzle. It's called Creature Power. And Panthera sent us a note to say that they have been really excited by being in the Discord server and published quite a number of puzzles in there for people to try, many with the Japanese sums, rule sets and variants of them. And this one has a really interesting set of rules, or possible rules. So let's just go through it. Normal Sudoku rules apply. That's the digits 1 to 9 in every row, column and box. And shading cells will help you solve the puzzle. Clues outside the grid show, and this is the Japanese sums bit, the sums of digits in shaded cells. The groups of shaded cells must be separated by at least one unshaded cell. So let's take this column. It has a 5 and a 27 clue. So there is either one cell or a pair of cells that add up to 5 somewhere, then one or a number of unshaded cells, and then a group of cells that add up to 27 below that. That's what these numbers mean, and all shaded cells have their sums given. So I have no doubt if you added the numbers at the top of the grid, you would get the same total as adding the numbers on the left of the grid, because they capture all the shaded cells. Now, in addition, one of the following rules applies. The Rhino rule says that cells that are n cells over and n plus 1 cells up cannot have the same digit for each value of n. And wow, that's a slightly complicated one. So if you had a 2 here, 2 over and 3 up, that couldn't also be a 2. And I think it means also that you couldn't go from 2 there, 3 over and 2 up. That distance is always impossible to contain a 2. But it would have no effect on a 9, because you couldn't go 9 cells over, I guess. So intriguing. And I'm hoping that is not the rule we have to obey. Camel rule. Identical cells cannot be an extended knight's move apart. Now, a regular knight's move is 1 in one direction and 2 in a perpendicular one. A camel move is 1 in one direction and 3 in the other. I think we've also called that a monkey step on the channel before. So any move like that, or to that cell, I guess this one moves to all of those cells in a camel step. And that may apply And then the elephant rule here is cells 1 or 2 steps apart diagonally cannot have an identical digit. So this cell, let's just colour that blue, that can't have an identical digit in any of these cells. And that's what is called an elephant rule in this puzzle. Now, all of these rules come from a blog or website that I will publish under the video that I don't know about, some sort of fairy chess variant or something. Anyway, sorry, I don't know about that, Panthera, and I haven't looked it up, but they are all real rules, and I think my guess as to what's going to happen is we will identify from the shading either a rhino, a camel, or an elephant, and know which rule applies. I think that's what's going to happen, but I wouldn't have the confidence to make a puzzle that's going to present a pixelated image of an animal and be confident that people could recognize it. But given Panthera's alarm clock before, I think there is every chance that this will work. And of course, Panthera is virtually a creature themselves, a panther. Anyway, do give it a try on the link under the video. I think this is going to be really interesting. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. Right, well, we've got a 37 clue. So the outies, the numbers that are not in the shaded cells, are going to add up to 8 in this. So there can only be 3. So the middle 3 cells must all be shaded. Let's go with purple for shaded cells. So those must be shaded. Oh, look, 44. That's brilliant, because the outie will be a 1. I hope you know the rule that 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals 45. That helps, because you subtract 44, you know that the outie is 1. It's either there or there. And we'll colour that another colour, and these and one more cell will add up to 44 then. And we've got a 41 here, so the outies are 4. That could be 2 cells or a single cell. Ah, right, look at these. Oh, all 4 of these rows here. The last sum in them is quite big. Is it always at least 3 cells big? So those 3 cells must all connect to this one, which is part of the shaded area. The same is true here. The same is true here. The same is true here. In fact, a 32 has to be at least 5 cells, so we can do that one as well. Now in this row, we've got a 32, which could be 6 or 7 cells, and a 1. In fact, a 32, yeah, no, the outies add up to 12. So there are 2 non-purple cells in this row. So I think we have to stop here at 6. Yeah, we do. That I will mark. Let's go. Oh, I'm told not to do purple and blue. Let's go green for non-shaded cells. But I don't know whether the 1 goes there or there. But there is a 1 in one of those cells. Let's do a Sudoku pencil mark. Now these could add up to 22. In fact, it can't be all of these adding up to 22 because 19 couldn't be squeezed in there. So that is green and not shaded. Same's true here. You can't get, that couldn't add up to 20 anyway, let alone they couldn't add up to 18. So that's green. Now these 18 and 19 both have to be at least 3 cells. So all those are purple. Outies in this row add up to 7. So that could be 1 cell or 2. Outies in this row add up to 4. So that could also be 1 cell or 2. I mean, this one must be 1, 3 or 4. But I don't know if that's green or purple yet. Okay. 14. 14 can't be more than 4 cells because 5 cells have to add up to at least 15. So look, tons of green in the rest of that column. Now, 13 and 4. No, that could be a 4. Okay. Oh, look, this has got isolated. This is a single cell. Right, that is a 6. We've got a digit. That must be right. don't know how many cells here make 9. 1, 2, or 3. I don't know if that's a 2 or if that's a 2. I think it has to be one of them. 5 and 27. Well, this cell surely, yeah, it has to be part of the 27, which has to be at least 4 cells. Right, so all of those are purple now. Gosh, we've got quite a lot of purple done already, but I think we're a long way from identifying an animal out of it, if that's indeed what we're doing, which I'm still not 100% sure about. Right, hang on, here. Look, yes, these can't be the cells that add up to 3, because that would be a 2 and a 1, and we've definitely got a 1 in the box already, so that's not happening. So they are part of the cells that add up to 17, which could be 2 or 3 cells, but the ones below them are all green. What else? Five up here. Oh, and the outies, what do they add up to? 13. I don't know. 5 is obviously 1 or 2 cells, but hard to say where they are. 6, 9, 9, 2. Oh, this is quite interesting, this row now. Where can that 2 be, which obviously has to be 1 cell holding a 2? It can obviously be here, but it can't be here or it would attach to these. It can't be those because they're 2 cells. It can't be there. Obviously, it can't be anywhere else. So, in fact, it's over here. That is the 2. Now, is this a 5 or is it blank? Is it green? If it's green, it's a 4. Because, oh no, it could be 1 or 3. There could be 2 outies in this column, so that's not valid. Don't know. These are part of a sum that adds to 9. And then there must be another sum. There must be another sum that adds to 9 here, which could be 2 or 1 cells. Now, in this row, this is the third unit that adds to 2. Anything that adds to 14 has to be in this group, because if either of these white cells are in the shaded, they attach to the purple. So the 3 has to be here, and it can't be a 2-1 pair. So it must be a single 3 in one of those cells. But I don't know which one. And here, that could be the 14 with that part of the 5. So don't know how that's shaping up. Now, up here, we need a 3, which could be a 2-1 pair. And then a gap, and then 17, which could be a 9-8 pair. Down in this column, actually that's quite an interesting column. We obviously have a single digit 2, but then interestingly we clearly have a single digit 3, because you can't put a 2-1 pair in the same column as a different 2. So is that the single digit 3? It doesn't have to be, because that could be where the 3 is in column in this row, and then 3 could be there or there and 2 above it. So not sure yet. 21, and then we have to have 7. We have to have 5 and 7. Ooh. Right, 5 can't be a single cell here. So this, can this ever be part of the 7 sum? No, I don't think it can. I don't think it can, because a 7 sum in 2 digits, or even a single 7 sum here, would leave that to be green and that to be a purple 5, but that wouldn't work with the clues in column 1. And I don't think this can be part of the 5, or you can't fit the 7 in, so I think this has to be green. And that means that the 17 pair is now a pair, rather, and is 9 and 8. 3 or a 2-1 pair is above it, but now 5 is either there or both of those. It can't just be here, because of column 1. So that is part of the 5. This must be where the 7 is, and it must be a single digit 7. And in the 37 clue, now here we've got a 5 clue. I don't know how to use that. So this 24, this can't reach here, surely. It could be 6 cells long. The outies are 21, so they could be 3 cells, but it can't get all the way down to the bottom of the grid. So that is not in the 21, the 24 sum. Can that be if it's a 3? Yes. Yes is the tedious answer to that. This can't be a 14 on its own, so that's green as well. So now this is part of the 14 sum. Could be 14 there and 5 here. No, this cannot be part of the 21 sum, or it would be 7 cells. The outies have to add up to 24, so they have to be 3. That's green, and now anything in here is connected to this and is part of the 14. This is where the 5 goes. So that is an outie, but is it part of a 3-1 pair, or is it a 4? Oh, lovely. Look at this cell. What colour is this? Now, in theory, according to column 9, it could be purple. But then, in row 2, it would be a 4. And in column 9, it can't be purple 4, because that would be green 4. So it's not purple, it's green. That's a 1-3 pair. Let's fill in 4, 7, 8, and 9 in that section. These add up to 14. And they're going to have to, no, they're not necessarily going to have to include a 1. It could be 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we've got a 4. 4 now can't be 2 cells long, because that would have to be 3, 1, and that would clash with this. So 4 is 1 cell, and it must be this one, I think. That's the 4. So it's surrounded by green. Then we have 13 within those 4 cells, but they cannot begin with anything bigger than 2 or 3. So I'm tempted to say no. Is this definitely part of the 13 sum? I think it is, actually. Why do I think that? I think that because if the 13 sum is 2 cells not including this, it must include that. It must either be those 2 or those 2. If it's 3 cells not including that, it's those. If it's 4 cells, it includes that. If it's 3 cells including this is only a 2 or a 3. So we need another 10, so it must still stretch to here. So that is purple. I'm just having a quick look at whether we're getting... I don't think we're getting a rhino, but I can't really see whether this is a camel or an elephant. Camel is humped. I don't know. Anyway, I hope to leave that as long as I can. Anyway, right, this is part of a 3 sum. So it's 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so we need at least another 10. So this has to now be in the 13 sum. We can't get it done in those 2 cells. So that's in it too. Okay, now purple, remember, can't be more than 6 cells big because it needs 3 outies. So this is suddenly green and is not the purple 3. The purple 3 is beside it, right here, being purple. There we go. And that is surrounded by green in the column. So those 2 3s are the same 3. In fact, 3, 14, 2... 9, 9, 6. This has to be a single purple 9. That has to connect up here. That is all the 6 cells it can be. And in fact, the outies have to add up to 21, and they don't include 9. So they're now 6, 7, and 8. I still don't know where the 1 goes. Hang on, what are these other numbers then? They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's quite a lot to sketch in. Maybe I won't. 5. Do those... Okay, the outies in this column add up to 45 minus 21 minus 7 minus 5. So that's 12. Okay, so that could be a 4 and an 8 or a 3 and a 9, but they could take that cell to add up to 12. Ooh, I think I have a notion what animal we're coming to now, actually, but we will leave that still. Oh, this is purple, and it's a 1, isn't it? Obviously, that's the given one. Sorry, I didn't remember what we were looking for there. So that's green. Right, these are 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put them in now. That's not a 4. This... yeah, this, if it's purple, can only be a 2. If it's green, this is a 5. But if it's purple and a 2, this is a 3. So that's 3 or 5 now. So 4 is definitely in one of these cells. Can't be in those. Oh, these outies, what do they add up to? 45 minus 33 is 12. 5 and 7. So 5 is not there. These are from 2, 3, and 6. Oh, not 3 though, because 3 is down here. So this is a 3, 4 pair. That's a 2, 6 pair, and must include the 2, the clued 2. So those are all green. One of these is 2 or 6. Oh, let's add up these rows. These two sequences have to add up to 18 plus 19 equals 37. And they definitely include 3 and a 4 is 7, 8 and a 9 is 17. That's 24. And they include a 2, a single purple 2. I don't know which cell it's in. Let's say it's there. 26. From 37 means these two add up to 11. Oh, 11's not a useful total. They're either 8, 3, 2, 9 or 5, 6. Oh, that's a shame. I thought I'd get something there. Now we've got 14 in this top row, but... Oh, look in this column, sorry. If you've seen that ages ago, I'm sorry I haven't been looking there. That is a 5, a single cell 5. So that's part of the 14 sum. It could reach to there. It can't reach to here because look, that's green and we've only got one sum in this column. 21 can't take, yes it could take 6 cells, so wind your neck in. I think I know what the animal is, but I'm not going to use that till we've got a bit more established. Now, this 13, the maximum those can add up to is 8, so that's purple. And indeed, do we know what it is? Do we know what it is? It can't be less than 6. Because the most they can add up to is 5, and that's by being 5, 3, which would need another 5. Right, 6, 8, or 9 there. If it was 6, these are 5 and 2. If it was 8, they're a 2, 3 pair. And if it's 9, they're a 3, 1 pair, and that doesn't... Oh, they can't be 9 with a 3, 1 pair, because that'll clash with that. Perfect. So, they do use a 2. Oh, I thought that was going to resolve this. It's not. Oh, look, I've got a 3, 4 pair. What am I doing? 5, 2, sorry. That's not a 2. Right. Do we know? Yes, they can't be 6, 2, 5. So that is an 8. That is a 3. That's sorted out the 1 and 3 over here. I've got some green cells filled in now. This looks like a 6 or a 9. Just by Sudoku. Ah, what's the green total here? It's 45 minus 32. It's 13, so that is not a 9. That's a 6, and the others add up to 7. So they are a 1, 2, 4 set. So there's a 4 here, that doesn't affect this. But the 8 does. That's not 8, 3 now. It's either 2, 9 or 5, 6. Oh, actually, I don't think 2, 9's going to work, because wherever the 9 went here, it would have to be with an 8 here. That's already 17, and you've got to add in one of these still, so it's not a 2, 9 pair. We now know this is a 5, 6 pair. And because this is a 2, 6 pair, wherever the 6 is here, it goes with the 2 over here. That makes 8, and then these 2 that go with that are going to have to add up to 10 or 11. Well, it's going to have to be 11. It's going to have to be here. 3 and 8 there. 6 and 2, which means that's 6 and 5. These 2 add up to 11, 3 and 8, and we get that sum done. And I'm sure that that's going to mean we get the right sum up here as well. That is a 4 and a 9. 4 and 9 and 8, 18. Yes. So that's not a 4. The 4 in this 1, 2, 4 sum is here. That's not 8 or 4. This isn't 4 or 9. This is still, that's not 7. Okay. Oh, now look, that trick we did with adding up rows. Look at these. That's 4, 9, 8, 7. They add up to 28. Plus 14 is 42. Let's say the 21 stopped there. We're not sure it does. That adds up to 63. You subtract 45. Have I got that right? So let me check it. 28 and 14 is 42, and 21 is 63. Minus this 45 leaves 18 if there's nothing in here, which would make this a 3, which it seems very likely indeed. I don't know. It's certain. I mean, it's certainly not certain was the idiot words I was going to utter there. But it can't be less than 3, because any excess over 3 is going down into these cells as part of the 21 sum. I bet it is 3, but if not... that's lovely. This is lovely. If that was a 9, these would add up to 12, plus the cage here makes 57. You take that from the sum that you get from these, counting those only as 24, and you would need to put in 6 in 1 or 2 cells here in the purple. And you can't do that because you can neither have a single 6 nor a 2, 4, nor a 1, 5, given what's there. So that is a 3. That is the end of the purple. I hope you followed that. That's brilliant. And this adds up to 21, and that's going to make these 3 add up to 18. And of course, we know this lot adds up to 45. So these 3 add up to 18. Let's look at the greens, maybe, which add up to 12. If that's a 1, these add up to 11 and a 2 and 9. If that's a 2, they add up to 10. They could be 6 and 4 then. I don't know. Bother. Okay. Now, in this row, we have 5, 7 and 9 to go. These add up to 32. I mean, these rows are effectively done. 1, 5, 7 and 9. That one can't be a 5. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. This one can't be a 3. There's a 6 here, but that's not very powerful. What about this sum? We've already got 26 there. I just need another 11. This 3 has meant for a long time that has been greenable. Okay, so this 14 sum, we've only got 1, 2 and 9 to place in the box. It's got to be a 5 and a 9 on one side, and on the other side there's a 1 or a 2. Now, if that side is this side, it's a 1. So there's a 9 in the sum. I don't know quite how to deal with that. Down here, Those 2 or 3 add up to 14. These 2 or 3 add up to 9. Something, oh, this is a 3, 7, 8, 9 set, and that one's not a 9, and that one's not a 3. Right, I think I'm going to have to go to the extra rule maybe at this point and use that, because it will help me solve the puzzle. So the extra rule, I'm going to say that we're definitely getting an elephant now. I see its eye here, a tusk here, and a trunk here. This is not a camel or a rhino. So what is the elephant rule? Cells 1 or 2 steps diagonally apart cannot have an identical digit. I like it because it's probably the easiest one to see. And how can we use that? Come on. Okay, that can't be a 7 because it sees that. So there's definitely a 7 down here somewhere. That can't, well, it could never be a 5, not just because of the diagonal rule. Oh, look, but the diagonal rule means it can't be a 9 as well, so that is a 7. Actually, this could be much more helpful than I was expecting, and maybe this was the way to do it. So that 5 and 7 are sorted out. 9 has to be in one of those 2 cells. Don't think the rule, oh yes, 9 is in one of those 2, so it's certainly not there. So that becomes a 9. Now, these 3 had to add up to 12, so that's 1 or 2, that has to be 1, that's 2. Oh my goodness, this was very helpful, and I should have availed myself of it before. That can't be a 4 by the elephant rule. 4, 6, 8, that's a 2, 7 pair, but the elephant rule sorts out which way they go. These don't have a 2, I still fancy that that's going to be the 1, but I don't know. 8, 6 and 4 up here, 6 or 4 there, 4 or 8 there. That's a useless triple. But we know where 1 goes in this column because it can't be there by the rule. And this is 4 or 8. But no, again, the rule to the rescue. It's a very useful rule. Thank you, Mr. Elephant. This is 2, 5 and 6. But this cell sees a 5 there and a 2 there. So that's a 6, and that fixes the whole triple. Wow, I think triples may become incredibly resolvable. Sometimes, at least. Yeah, where's 6 going to go here? Not there because of the rule. So we can put it in... Oh, there's also that 6 there. That's just boring old Sudoku, though. Now, 6 down there, we know that there's a 1 outie, so we now know where it is. So that is green, that is purple, this must be purple for the row. This already adds up to 35, so we can whack in a 2 there and fill everything else with green. We've done all the shading, we've created our perfect pixelated elephant. This can't be, look, a 1, 2 or 8. This rule is brilliant. We've got to have more elephant puzzle rules. That's my plea now. 9, 7. That's a 1, 5 pair. Doesn't get resolved, but it does fix that. 1, 7, 8 are gone. Yes, 3 looking at that. I'm using the rule more often than I'm using regular Sudoku now. I love it. Okay, that's 6 and 4. Regular does that. These are 3 and 8. I think we're just finishing off now. This has worked beautifully. That becomes a 7 thanks to the rule. 8 and 9 there. 2 and 5 here. 4, 9, 5, 7, 2, 6. Now, the one thing we must not forget, and I am very prone to doing that, is to use regular the old Japanese sums. So look, that's 14 and that's 14. And here we've got 10, 16, so that's the 5, that's the 1. And that's incredibly helpful in finishing off as well. 7 and 9. That fixes 8 and 7. This is a very clever puzzle and a very interesting rule set. I mean, I don't think that this rule set will ever be replicated in this form. And I'm not sure I like, as a general idea, this kind of, oh, that 3 is looking at that. There we go. This idea of alternate possible rule sets, but it's worked very nicely here. And look at our lovely elephant. Let's just get rid of the green shading so we can look at the purple elephant in all its imperial glory. Creature power prevails, and Panthera is a fantastic setter. These are the facts. Happy to have solved that. That was really enjoyable, and I hope you have a very good weekend, and see you again soon, maybe on Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.